Good morning, Unity.
Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. In the presence of love. Let's rejoice, shout praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah, to the Most High we say. Let's rejoice, shout praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah, to the Most High we say. Let's rejoice, shout praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah, to the Most High we say. In the presence of love. Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. Restored, renewed, recharged, resurrected in love. In the presence of love. In the presence of love. In the presence of love. Is who I am. Ooh, ooh. Gratitude, my attitude. Ooh, ooh. Abundance is my nature. Ooh, ooh. Well-being my birthright. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. So many questions and no answers come to mind. But then I remember that it's quite simple. I remember to look inside my heart. It's the best place to start, 'cause love is who I am. Ooh, ooh. Gratitude, my attitude. Ooh, ooh. Abundance is my nature. Ooh, ooh. Well-being my birthright. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. So if you're feeling discouraged and don't know how to decide which road to take, just try to remember that it's quite simple. Just remember to look inside your heart. It's the best place to start. Love is who I am. Ooh, ooh. Gratitude, my attitude. Ooh, ooh. Abundance is my nature. Ooh, ooh. Well-being my birthright. Love is who I am. 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 Ooh, ooh. Gratitude, my attitude. Ooh, ooh. Abundance in my nature. Ooh, ooh. Well-being my birthright. Love is who I am. 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 Ooh.
Well. Hi. Welcome. Sorry, we had a little traffic jam, no big deal. Good morning, everybody. Everybody smile at me. Now, look at somebody real quick and say, whoa, you look great. You look fantastic. You're intelligent. You're smart. You're brilliant. You're beautiful. I love you. And I like you too. I see God in you. I see greatness in you. I call you blessed. I call you prosperous. I call you healthy, wealthy, and wise. I see good coming to you every day. Now high five 2 or 3 people, hug somebody's neck, shake their hand, tell them you're glad to see them today. Yeah. Everybody who's joining us online, we welcome you too around the world. We say thank you for being here. If you're a guest with us online for the first time, if you don't mind typing your information and just tell us where you're watching from. In fact, I'm going to ask our local congregation here if you would to welcome these folks who are joining around the world, 180 countries, all of the states in the United States. It is our goal, it is our honor, and it is our privilege to be blessing billions every single day with this message of love, joy, and freedom, welcoming the beauty of the pure presence of God that is you, working through you, working for you, and working as you in the world. We make that as our statement and our decree in this world. Anybody who is here for the very first time in this room, if you feel comfortable doing so, slip your hand up. We just would love to bring a gift to you and welcome you into this space today. All around the congregation here, thank you so much for being here. Fill out that get acquainted card if you don't mind. If you have not silenced your phones, if you will do so at this time. Want you to know we had a great, how many were here last week for our Easter celebration and our 100 year? Wow. I'm still kind of buzzed from it, you know what I mean? Anybody ever got so buzzed the night before the next day you wake up with it? I've been waking up with it, not hungover, still buzzed from that. Still feeling that resurrection, that renewal, that restoration that is in the air, and it's a beautiful thing. Hey, and guys, guess what? We get to celebrate this 100 years for another 300 and some odd days. We don't turn 101 till next year, right? So let's celebrate the whole 100 years together. And the centennial, and what it is I believe it is a bouncing pad into what we are to become next. We are being birthed into something fresh and into something new, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, with the beauty of a delivery room comes some noise and sometimes some feeling of chaos. And so just know this, as you go through the ebb and flow of death, burial, and resurrections, the cycle of life, that there is a delivery happening. Don't freak out when the lady's screaming. I don't mean literally. If there's somebody, then take care of that. But I'm talking about metaphorically. As we move through this process of birthing, just be mindful of that sometimes with birthing comes contractions, can sometimes feel tight and we can feel intense. But as we move through this season, we're not in trouble. We're in transition. And that is good news for us all. All right, I am going to ask you to please consider staying following the service for just a few moments. As soon as we get through with the service, we'll take a quick bathroom break. I'd love to bring you up to par on some information and some inspiration about what is happening for us from our real estate standpoint. I'm happy to tell you that we do not have to worry about where we're going to be worshiping. We will have a place to worship. In fact, we have multiple opportunities. I'd like to share those with you following the service today. Okay, so stay tuned. Remember, we're going through the open door in 24. And we've said from the beginning, at least of my time here, this or better. And I believe that we are expanding into the better. And let me remind us all, a part of the vision of First Unity Spiritual Campus is to be a multifaceted, multi-campus community serving all of St. Petersburg and all of the Tampa Bay area, including 2 international locations within the next 3 years. So we have some work cut out for us, right? Let's set that vision in place and let's keep that vision going. All right, I think I'm done for right now. I believe that's all. And so we're going to look at the screens for our announcements.
Happy Sunday, First Unity family. Carrie Jon Scott here. I'm bringing you your campus news. Join us every Wednesday evening for meditation with sound bath and Reiki at 6 p.m. here in the sanctuary. Prayer in the Park, sponsored by Tampa Bay Interfaith, will hold an afternoon of singers, speakers, and prayers by several faith leaders in Straub Park today from 1 to 5 p.m. Reverend John will represent First Unity. Join Emmanuel Yerna for the Pink New Moon, Qigong, and Sunset Meditation on April 8th at 7 p.m. at Treasure Island Beach. Address and parking information is on the flyer. Oneness and Social Justice Team will meet Tuesday, April 9th at 7 p.m. This meeting will be held in the home of Walter and Carolyn. Address is on the flyer. Please RSVP online for a head count. Soul Sisters Women's Group is Wednesday, April 10th at 7 p.m. in Friendship Hall. Deneen McQueen will facilitate a silent disco. Please RSVP to mcqueendeneen@gmail.com. Heart Opening Yoga and Cacao is Tuesday, April 16th at 6 p.m. under the purple tent. Join Tiffany as she guides you in movement, breathwork, heart openers, and more. Looking to bring more magic to your daily life? Sacred City Kirtan Journey will be held on Friday, April 19th in the sanctuary. Doors open at 6:45. Be sure to bring a blanket for floor seating. Living Green Market is on Sunday, April 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. along the main entrance. If you would like to be a vendor, please see Ronnie after service. Join Emmanuel Yerna for the Pink Full Moon Meditation and Sound Bath Healing on April 23rd at 7 p.m. on Treasure Island Beach. Address and parking information is on the flyer. Bring your drums or other instruments. Please stay around after service for a short meeting regarding campus updates. We will allow for a quick break before we begin. Our Sunday potluck will be held today in Friendship Hall immediately following the quick meeting. Please join us as we fellowship over a delicious meal. Make sure you stay up to date with all campus happenings at firstunity.org. I love you guys. I will see you soon.
be in us, and may we always respond with love. Let this mind be in us, and may we always respond with love. In everything that we do, becoming ever more like you. May we see your light shine through. Let this mind be in me and you. Love, love, love. I will lead with 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 love, love, love. Lead with Let this mind be in us, and may we always respond with love. Let this mind be in us, and may we always respond with love. In everything that we do, becoming ever more like you. May we see your light shine through. Let this mind be in me and you. Love, love, love. I will lead with love, love, love. You will lead with love, love, love. I will lead with love, love, love. I will be with
And in unity, we say, love begins right here, right now. Love begins with us. So as we move into our sacred centering time, as we continue this theme of finding love, it is always here within us. I invite you all now, here in the sanctuary, and especially those of you, our beloved online viewers, wherever you are, to just take the next 10 minutes to reacquaint ourselves with this essence, this feeling of love, who we are. So maybe now closing your outer eyes or keeping them at a soft gaze. It matters not, as long as you are comfortable. Maybe feeling the support of the chair or the ground that is supporting beneath you. Just coming into this present moment. This is the only moment where we can connect, we can feel, and we can open ourselves up to receive. Noticing if you are holding on to any tension, any tightness, anything in your physical body. So maybe allowing an exhale breath here to cleanse and clear and to let go, to allow yourself to come into this present moment as we prepare the body temple, opening up to receive the energy. We can call this love, call this God, Goddess. Whatever label or whatever you are comfortable with is all that matters. So aligning with your breath and breathing here now as you take your next inhale breath, maybe feeling this breath coming all the way up through the soles of your feet, all the way up through your legs, your whole torso, coming all the way up to the top of your head. And then as you exhale, sighing and releasing, letting go, releasing the blocks, releasing the barriers, anything that is blocking this free flow of loving energy that is you to move through you. Keep going, cleansing and clearing at your own pace, filling up. As you inhale, maybe expanding the abdomen, the rib cage, drawing the breath all the way up to the top, maybe visualizing the crown chakra now, that space above your head. And then as you exhale, follow the breath down. Keep going, cleansing and clearing here, preparing the body to be still, preparing the body to be open. So filling up, maybe filling up with love, with God essence, with prana, with chi. And as you exhale, sighing out and releasing and letting go of any burdens, anything that you are holding on to. Can you release and let go here? One more deep cleansing breath here. As you expand and fill up, hold at the top, watch the turnaround as you follow the exhale breath, moving down the spine, cleansing and clearing the 7 power centers of the spine, the 7 chakras. Coming into your own natural breath and breathing here, maybe now, maybe scanning your body, and noticing where maybe you can invite some more ease and relaxation into your body temple. Bring your awareness next to the screen of your mind, the spiritual eye, noticing if there is any tightness or clenching here. And with your natural breath, maybe noticing, just becoming the witness, the observer, and maybe noticing what thoughts maybe are coming and going. Maybe it's something from yesterday. Maybe it's a worry you're holding on to. Maybe it's a feeling of hurt. So notice maybe here, if you can now bring the awareness and remind ourselves here, I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not the experiences that come and go. I am the awareness. I am the stillness in which all my thoughts, emotions, and experiences come and go. I am the stillness in which all my thoughts, emotions, and experiences come and go. And now ask yourself, who am I? And just settle in here and allow whatever it is to unfold intuitively as you now connect to spirit, to love, maybe feeling your crown chakra opening up and feeling this love that is now pouring in through you, as you, and ask, who am I? Settling here in the stillness, in the quiet, maybe settling in your heart space. And without my words for the next couple of minutes, stay in this space, asking, who am I? Maybe now you can put I am in front of whatever it is that you're receiving. Maybe it's I am love, connected with your breath. I am peace. I am joy. I am life. I am love. And from this place of love and peace now, can you affirm the following to you yourself? Silently say this. I am free from suffering. I am at peace. I am free from suffering. I am at peace. No matter what is happening in the outside world, I know that I can come in here deep inside myself where I access the peace and the serenity. This is who I am. Tension is who the world tells us we should be, but I know that deep in here, peace and stillness and love is who I am. Maybe now as you become aware of your heart space, you can bring to mind someone in need or someone you love or someone who needs your love. Can you now maybe send this love out? May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. And may you know that you are love. May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. May you know that you are love. So stay in this energy here, maybe sending this out into the world, into a place, wherever you feel energetically drawn to send this intention now. Send it out. And if you'd like to bring one hand over your heart center, maybe place the other hand here. As you now begin to slowly bring awareness back to your heart chakra, the Anahata heart that lies at the back of the physical heart. This is the heart that is never hurt, never broken, that can love unconditionally, and that can see love beyond all appearances in this three-dimensional world. This is the heart that loves unconditionally. And so now, as we slowly begin to bring awareness back to this room and this space, just lengthening your inhale breaths here, and slowly releasing your exhale breath. Just maybe allowing your arms to rest or bringing them to heart center in prayer position. Maybe keeping the awareness that you're coming back into this space. Maybe allowing your eyes to gently open. And just take a moment to feel the physical heart that beats. But above all, feeling the energetic heart, the love that you are, and allowing this love to express here to every single person, every single sentient being on your path today. And until we meet each other again, as you slowly begin to open up your eyes, the divine light within me truly honors, sees, acknowledges the divine light within each and every one of you. And we say all of that together in one word, Namaste.
Love, love, I will lead with love, love. Said I will lead with love. Love. How are you going to lead? I will lead with, love, love. I will lead. I will. Sing it again, come on. Love, love. I will lead. I will lead. Love, love, love. And you know that verse says, let this mind be in you. Let this mind be in you. I like to say it this way, that mind is in you, let it be. Love, love, love. I will lead with love, love. love. I will. Maybe grab your neighbor's hand and say, love, love, we will. Love, we will lead with love, 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 we will lead with love. We will lead with love. Oh, we will lead with love. We will lead with love. And why is that? Why is that? Because I am love. Because I am love. Because you are love. Look at the person next to you and say, you are love. And I am love. That must mean we're in love. One of my favorite avatars to walk the planet was Baba Ram Das, whose Earth birthday would have been yesterday, but he's still with us. He sent me this mala several years ago that he made when he had his stroke that he called a gift, as only he could, right? It's Ram for you. When he had that stroke, he started doing some things to utilize hands and coordination to start to rewire the brain to the best of his ability. And one of the things that he started doing was making malas himself. And so I treasure this. And one of the things that he taught all of us, the whole world, was to lead with what? Love. So he wrote the book, Be Here Now, and then years later he wrote the book, Be Love Now. You are love. And so today we honor the wonderful spirit and essence of Baba Ram Das, who was such a rascal, and yet such an ascended soul. So I feel his essence today. I wanted to share with you a little bit, and I don't know how this is going to go today. Not as if I ever do, but today especially, there's an interesting energy in the world at the moment. You know, we're getting ready for this eclipse and then the new moon, and the eclipse is happening. It was preceded by a lunar eclipse, but the solar eclipse is coming up. And the new moon, and our moon expert over here, Emmanuel, could tell us much more about moon and all and everything. But the eclipse and the new moon happening really within the same season together is pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. I wanted to just share with you some thoughts that are kind of ruminating within me about this eclipse, because, you know, the thing is, we can spiritualize anything. I mean, really, I'm actually someone who can look at a signpost and we will just make a spiritual sermon out of it. I mean, it's like a message. Everything's sending a message. You know, to me, everything is spiritual. Its very essence, the fact that anything can exist, was manifested from the same source that you all did. And that includes the stuff that you don't like, which reminds me. So on this last weekend, on Saturday, I've received some news from one of my children, and it was some life-changing news. And so she needed her daddy. So she was like, Daddy, I need you, and I know you're busy. I said, I'm not too busy for you. So I had that news, carried that into our service last week, Easter, and our 100-year celebration. And, you know, if at times I seemed a little distracted, it's because I am human, and so that's my baby girl. It's one of my baby girls. And so, you know, I was feeling her and you know, all of that's going on inside of her. And so I wanted to, you know, make sure that we were here to celebrate. We're following the celebration. And by the way, if you were a part of that, oh my gosh, what a great day. The 100-year celebration. Just, happy birthday to us, right? And so to make a long story longer, following our celebration, I went home and packed, and I started out to drive toward Tennessee. I intended to go to Tennessee. That was my plan. Somebody say my plan. My plan was to go to Tennessee. So it's Easter, it's Sunday evening, and I'm up 75. Yeah, you're with me already? Anybody with me? I'm going up 75. And the traffic's actually not too bad. It's moving right along, and I've got a little meditation music playing in the background, and I'm just chilling. And I don't mind drives. I'd rather drive than fly sometimes. It depends on where we're driving to. California, I'll fly. But, if we're going to North Carolina, going to Tennessee, going to Alabama, going to Georgia, I'll drive it, and I enjoy a drive, and I get to spend some time with just me. I'm actually okay with me. There was a long time I ran from me, but I actually really like me now. I look at me in the mirror in the mornings, and I say, gosh, dude, you're handsome. You're pretty. Actually, no, I don't really do that. I say, hey, God, how are you? Because you should see the divine in yourself. Anyway, moving along. I was driving up 75, and something felt weird about the car. So like, okay. I didn't really, I don't want something to feel weird about the car, but it is happening, and there's nothing I can do about it except for to pull to the shoulder. And I was talking to one of my daughters as that's transpiring, and I said, look, let me call you back in a minute. I just need to check the car. So I pull over to the shoulder, and I get out, and I, do what you do. You check your tires, and I checked them before I left. So something happened between here and north of Ocala, Florida. So I walk around to this side, and it's not a pancake, but it's a piece of cake. It's starting its way toward pan. And just in the few moments I stand there, it's flat. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's fantastic. Hallelujah. So I get back in the car and deep breath, and I hit up Carrie, and I'm like, hey, babe, we have roadside assistance on this car. And she's like, yeah, for lifetime. It's a Volvo. What's going on? I said, but I've caught a flat. And she was like, oh, wow. And she said, well, have you found anywhere that'll repair it? And I said, well, no, it's Easter. Everything looks like it's closed. So she said, look, I said, what's the number for roadside assistance? She said, can you just not Google that? Come on. Do I have to be your assistant for everything? Do I have to tell you the number to 911 too? No, she didn't say any of that. So I Google it, and I dial it, and I call them, and 2 hours later, yes. I promise you, that was not on cue. But it was not meant that way, but answer the phone and say, God? These things are so perfect. They really are. I love it. So 2 hours later, I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting for roadside assistance to come, because the deal is when you have lifetime roadside assistance, they're picky and choosy about who they use. So they don't just call Bob's or Lucy's down the road. No, they call Jim Bob's in Valdosta and come to get you. So Jim Bob, his wife, and their 2 children picked me up. I wasn't sure when they got out of the vehicle if I was in trouble or not, because all 4 of them get out at once. And I'm like, no, I'm one guy. Like, what's up here? I promise my rims are not worth much. And there's really, but no, they were very nice. And I don't know if his name was Bob. I don't remember. It was just, but during that 2 hours, I had a chance to meditate. I'm meditating while vroom, vroom, vroom is happening. Because, a contrast to the noise is the quiet. And you can get into it anywhere. And you can. There were those moments where I'm like, why is this happening? I'm trying to get to my kid. What really, is this? And then I was like, no, you know what? You just have to take life as it comes, and back and forth. Anyway, make a long story short, I have to book a hotel. So I'm 160 miles away from home. And after that long day, I'm not going to make Carrie drive all the way up there just so that we have to stay in the same place. She had plenty of work she needed to do at home and plenty of things she needed to do the next day. I said, no, it's fine. I'll get a hotel. I'll just stay here in Ocala. So I get to the hotel, a wonderful lady named Rosa behind the desk. She was just so sweet, so kind. Now, granted, they're having to haul my car to Volvo because it's a Volvo deal, okay? Volvo is going to open the next day, and their service department at like 7:30. So, hey, may as well chill, get a little something to eat, get into the hotel room, and just chill. It had been a long weekend. Rosa's so sweet behind the desk, so nice. What brings you here? A flat tire. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay. I said, everything will be okay. Rosa, it is fantastic to have met you, and this is a wonderful day. And she was like, well, that's a nice way to look at things. And I said, look, there's no other way to look at it. And so we talk, and she gets me my room keys, and then I said, hey, listen, can you tell me where I can get a bottle of water? Because this hotel, I'm not sure who forgot to build a gas station close to it, but they forgot. And there was nothing open next to it, nothing. It's Easter, and it's Sunday. I said, could I just get some bottled water, because I drink a lot of water. And she said, yeah, the machine right there will do it. So I start to head toward the machine, and she says, Mr. Scott, just a minute. I have 2 bottles of water here I'll give you. You can just have these. So in that moment, there was just the exchange of, oh yeah, these little things that try to remind us while we're missing life, because we got interrupted, the beauty of things. So I get up the next day and I go through this process of calling the service department, and Anissa is so nice at Volvo, by the way, Jenkins Volvo in Ocala, Florida. If you ever get stuck in Ocala, Florida, look up Anissa at the Volvo dealership. So nice, so sweet, so kind. I hear people, Amy, talk all the time about how many rude people they run into, and I don't know why. I just don't run into them. Really. Because it would hurt if I ran into them. But no, I just don't come across these folks. You know, there's such beauty in the world. Listen to where I'm headed with this. I promise this is headed somewhere. This is storytelling with John, okay? This is all reminding me that there's death, burial, and resurrection. We have plans, and sometimes they die and get buried. And if we'll just wait a minute, resurrection of new life will come on the other side of it. Instead of being so caught up in what's not working, start looking for what's trying to introduce itself to you and the beauty of the peace that you carry within you. And so Anissa, I got some other believers in peace up in here too. So Anissa's so nice, so sweet. She's doing everything she can to help me, but they don't have the ability to fix the tire, because the nail or the bullet or whatever hit it that punctured it like that is in the shoulder. Now see, when I was growing up, if it was in the shoulder, sidewall, up, down, backwards, it didn't matter. They just plug it. Not anymore. If it's past the tread, they don't plug anything. They have to replace the tire now. Okay, let me give context. We just replaced these tires last month. Yeah, you hear me? So I say, Anissa, we just replaced these tires last month, and here's the deal. These tires have warranty on them from Mavis Tire. And she said, well, we're not Mavis. I said, no, you're Volvo. But do you have the tire? And she said, sir, we don't even have that tire. We'd have to order it. It'd be a couple of days before we could get it. Great. I'm in Ocala, Florida. Granted, I'm on my way to Tennessee. I am not intended. I wasn't supposed to stay in Ocala, Florida. What's in Ocala, Florida besides Jenkins Volvo and Anissa? So I said, I tell you what, I'm going to really need to tow this, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to pay a tow bill because I've already towed once with roadside assistance. And so I get to the Volvo place, and I said, I tell you, I think we're going to tow this to Tire Kingdom, because Tire Kingdom is in franchise with Mavis Tire, and they will fix it with warranty. But I'm probably going to have to pay, and so I'm just going to work on that. And she comes flying out a few minutes later. She goes, wait, you have lifetime towing. I said, I know, but we already towed here. She said, no. She said, I will tell them that we didn't have your tire, so they will tow you over to Tire Kingdom. Really? Now, this is after Anissa had already told me while I was at the hotel and I was about to have to get an Uber, $25 to get an Uber, had told me, no, don't worry about it. I'll send Rick. Rick showed up. Rick is this wonderful African-American gentleman about my age, and he has one arm missing. And his countenance is bubbling with joy. I mean, it's like I met Jesus in blue jeans. I mean, Rick shows up, he gets out of the car, he's like, sir, how are you doing today? And I said, it's Monday. And he said, all day long, isn't that great? And I said, yes, it is. And we get in the car. We had church on the way back to Jenkins Volvo, sharing the love of God with each other. I loved Rick. I loved Anissa. I was meeting myself. If I choose to be joy, I choose to be peace, I choose to be love. You start meeting what you are all along the way. You get to see Jesus in all of his disguises, the Buddha in all of his disguises. Man, this is getting gooder and gooder, and it's not done. This story is longer. Rick is a wonderful human being, drops me off and says, sir, I hope you have the most blessed day ever. And I said, you too, Rick, I love you, man. And he said, you know what, I love you too. Never met him before in my life, but I loved him, and he loved me, and Rick will probably never forget me. Although he did say, leave me a good review on Google. Tow the car, works out to Tire Kingdom. Tire Kingdom does not have the tire that's warranted. This is the second time we've towed in less than 24 hours. In fact, I got to the place where the word tow was triggering. Manager says, here's what we'll do. After talking to Carrie, I'm not sure what she said, but my wife can be very convincing. I don't know what she said, but when he came back, he had a different look, and he said, you know what we're going to do? I said, you must have talked to my wife, because she really won't take no. It's like, he said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put this other tire on this car. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's got a little more miles on it to run. It's a brand new tire. It's not the same one, but it'll fit with the rest of yours. It's just going to be a different brand. Would that work? I said, I don't care about brand, brother. I'm trying to get to Tennessee. Can you put me something on that has a little better tread than, I don't know, bald, so that I can get to Tennessee? I'm good with whatever, brother. So they go to work on it. 45 minutes later, to put a new tire on. It's on the lift for 45 minutes, folks. It's not that they waited 45 minutes, had cars in front of me. It's 45 minutes on the lift because I can see it. And the mechanic's walking around it, and he's checking everything but the tire. So just a few seconds later, I see, and I knew it, here we go. So I walk out there, and Bubba proceeds to tell me all the stuff that's wrong with it that we just got done with it in February. It was an upsell moment. So I had one of these moments. Alkis, I think you would have been proud of me. I took a deep breath and I said, Bubba, might not be your name, but you look like one, Bubba. Everything you just said we need to do, we just did last month. And it's in our account that's with your sister's store, Mavis. So I don't feel like what you've just told me is true. That doesn't make me dislike you. I love you, man, anyway. I need you to put the tire on. That's all I need. Thank you. Turned around and walked back into the room. That's all I could do with that moment. I didn't want to yell. I just said, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Anyway, we're not done. This is all a part, death, burial, and resurrection. My plans are missed. Living love, living joy, living peace. Anybody with me? You feel what has happened? So it's the real moments like this that start to really draw on our spiritual maturity. Because anything that costs you your peace is what? Too expensive. They put the tire on. I take out up 75 again. I'm getting it. Getting it. I get to Valdosta, Georgia. Stop to get gas. Come back with my protein bar. Okay, Snickers has protein in it, okay? Let's just say it. It's got peanuts in it. Come back. Come back to the car. I get in the car. I turn the car on. And the parking brake light is on. That's weird. So I push the button. Normally it goes off. It did not. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. Press the brake in, I put it back in park. Push the parking brake, and it doesn't go off. So I pull the parking brake, it doesn't go off. I push the parking brake, it doesn't go off. Pull it twice, boom, boom, push. I'm like, I'm not sure what code this is. I don't know how far into this combination lock I am. Doesn't work. I sit there for 20 minutes trying to work with this thing, call Carrie, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this car or this trip to Tennessee, but dude, this vacuums. Because you're not supposed to say sucks in church. I start to pull it forward and I can feel the resistance. That means the park brake is on and I don't want to tear the car up. I'll make it to a parking spot, throw it back in park. Carrie is Googling everything under the sun. She's Googling how to build the ark at this point. She's trying to figure it out. So we cut it off, turn it back on, we cut it back. We do all kinds of work with it. Folks, this is leading somewhere, I promise. It's a very long story. I have to call a tow truck again. This time it's Caleb. Caleb is Larry the Cable Guy's son and the nephew of Jeff Foxworthy. Caleb shows up, says, hey man, what we got going on here? And I said, we got a parking brake that won't release. And he said, did you try to push the button? Don't ask me, Caleb, if I tried to push the button. I pushed the button every way you could push the button. I pulled the button. I almost pulled it out of the dash. I did everything I could. And he's like, man, that's just something. These new cars. And then he goes into a 10-minute rant on new cars. He said, back in the day when you just had a Ford pickup truck, there wasn't nothing but 4 things could be wrong with it. And he's dissing on Volvo and all that stuff. And we pack the car up and we take on off to Mavis Tire. Because Volvo wanted to tow my car to Tallahassee from Valdosta. And there is nothing in Tallahassee I was looking for. Caleb was so nice. This is funny, but I want us to see some of the seriousness in this. Caleb is being so wonderful and nice, loving, kind. Even the lady who I talked to, I guess who was the one who sends the trucks out. When I told her what was going on, she said, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Bless your heart. In Georgia, that can be taken about 14 different ways, but I think she meant it. Caleb takes me and drops me off at Mavis. It's 6:58. Guess what time they close? 7. Do they have a fix-it? Yeah, but it's 7 o'clock. So guess what I needed to do? Yeah, stay in Valdosta, 2 cities I did not plan on staying in a 2-day period on my way to Tennessee, not Valdosta, Georgia. So I'm deep breathing, and once again, I'm welcoming the love. Because even the young man who came out to greet me from Mavis, he said, oh man, sorry dude, we're closed until tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. All right. So I start doing a hotels.com or wherever it is to get hotels, I book a hotel, and I tell Caleb, thank you so much. And he stayed there with me, that whole like 20-minute period. He wouldn't leave my side. I said, Caleb, I appreciate your help. And I shook his hand. I said, I'm going to grab an Uber and just get over to the hotel, maybe get something to eat. And he said, oh, man, where's your hotel? And I said, right there. He said, I know right where that's at. I'll take you so you don't have to pay for an Uber. So Caleb takes me to the hotel. Lisa drops me off at the hotel. And I go in and I meet Lakeisha. She's standing behind the desk, but in front of me are 2 other people who are dogging her out. I can hear it. As you know, the only problem with customer service is customers. That's it. If you didn't have customer service would be a breeze, I tell you. And they are bawling her out in Alkies. Oh my gosh. I was like, she must be an EOS person or something. Because when I get up to the desk after they leave, she takes a deep breath and she says, hello, sir, how can I help you? And I said, you just did. And she said, what? I said, you just did. You took a deep breath, and in spite of what you just caught, you gave me love. You just did what I need you to do. That's amazing. You're wonderful. She teared up a little bit, and she said, well, how can I help you? And I said, I have reservations, I think. She said, what's your name? I gave her the name, and she looked. Sure enough, I had reservations. She gave me my key, and I started toward the elevator because I was on the 3rd floor. Started toward the elevator. On the side of my sight, I could see somebody over here pouring some wine, and might have been some beer. And I see this lady, and then I see this sign that says, happy hour till 7 o'clock. It's 7:05. I look at the lady and she said, oh, go ahead, honey, just hurry up. I'll wait for you. Because I needed just a little help. The Scottish in me needed some help. I go up quick, 3rd floor, drop my bags off, come back down, and she had poured 2 for me, not just 1, 2. Because she said, I'm closing up. Not 2 big ones. I didn't go get drunk. But just enough to say, And she was so sweet. She said, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I told her my story real quick. And then the beauty of the people I came in contact with. The story's not over. I go back upstairs, I get settled in, I let Carrie know I'm fine. I give a call to my daughter and tell her what's going on, and I tell her, look, with what's happening, I'm seeing that there's some kind of a thing here, and I think that I need to schedule my trip with you. You understand, though, that Daddy wants to be there with you. She said, Daddy, you've been with me the whole time. She said, what you've gone through lets me know you really wanted to be here with me. And Daddy, you're with me. And I said, okay, all right. I just want you to know that I want to read the signs. I think it's time for me to go back to the house. There's some reason, but I'm here with you through this whole process. In consciousness, we can't be separated. And she was like, all right. So I settled all of that in, and I got a little hungry, so I went downstairs, and right next to the place was this wonderful health food, vegetarian, vegan place called Burger King. And So I go in and I get myself a fat-free, calorie-free, cholesterol-free, sugar-free, biggest hamburger that you could put your mouth on. And I go back to the hotel, and I'm getting in there, and as I walk around the corner, there's this couple. They're coming down the long hall, and they're doing the whole, you know how you grab all of your groceries and take them in one trip? That's what they're doing. He's got a bag in this hand, a bag under this arm. He's got something strapped over his back, and he's carrying a six-pack in his hand, and I can see from a distance that it is Guinness Stout. And the Irish side of me said, oh, laddie, that's a good beer you got there. I didn't say anything because they were too distant. I just nodded, and I walked around the corner, got on the elevator, got into the elevator, started to close the door, and all of a sudden the door opened, and guess who steps into the elevator? Guinness Stout. No, this couple steps in, and they're just automatically so sweet. And I just did what I do a lot that embarrasses my children. I just began to talk to them. Because I feel like if you're in proximity, you should be talking to people and spending time with them, and we just let the love move. And I said hello to them and asked them what floor they were going to. They were going to the third floor like me, and I said, that's awesome. We're on the same floor. I promise not to be too loud. I normally don't scream and run through the hallways. Tonight may be that night, but I don't normally do it. And just being fun and funny with them, and they're just kind of laughing a little bit, you know. And then I couldn't help it. I said, that, my friend, is a great beer. And he said, take one. I said, really? And he said, yes, take one. I said, really, you sure? And his wife said, he's sure, take one. In their beautiful Jamaican accents, I reach for the beer, and he sees my One Love bracelet, and he starts to tear up, and he says, One Love. And I said, yeah, One Love. He said, Bob Marley. I said, yes, I love Bob Marley. I said, we are one love. He said, we're one love, brother. For the next 15 seconds on this elevator, we had this interaction of love, and we were even singing the song together as we got off the elevator. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. Y'all, I'm telling you, it was the most gorgeous experience that I believe I could have had in that 48-hour period, to actually live love, joy, and peace, and to run into love, joy, and peace at every turn. And it was as if my path was made straight before me. And something tells me that as we come into this eclipse season, and I got to tell you, I believe that this eclipse season has opened up an energy for us to decide what it is we want, to stop fighting with what we don't want, but decide what we do want, and to be very specific about it and detailed about it. It reminds me of a story, because a lot of things do this morning. I don't know why. There was a young man who called. He'd been married 10 years. And he forgot his anniversary. So he better talk to a preacher. 10 years, forgot his anniversary. I know. Like, dude, you forgot your anniversary. Yeah, I forgot my anniversary. I said, well, tell me what happened. He said, well, my wife didn't. I said, I could have stopped him there enough. You need a lawyer, amigos? I said, what happened? He said, well, I get home, there's music playing, there's candles on the table, beautiful dinner, and a gift. And as I see it, I remember, oh my God, it's our 10th anniversary. She walks around the corner as I'm saying, oh my God, it's our 10th anniversary. And she sees I've forgotten. I said, how did that go? He said, not great. I said, she was ticked off? He said, oh yeah. Oh, she was so mad. She had a high level of pissophity. It's a word, look it up in the dictionary. I don't know which one it's in, but it's in there. It's probably Google it. And she said to him, I'm telling you something, buddy, and I'm not kidding. tomorrow morning, there better be something in my driveway that goes from 0 to 200 in less than 6 seconds. And if not, we're done. Next day, she walked out of the driveway. There was a small package sitting in the driveway. She went, oh. She grabbed the package, opened it up. It was a scale. See, she was not specific. She wanted a car. She said 0 to 200. She was not specific. I'm saying that to be funny a little bit, but to tell us something, a truth, that as we're going into this season where you have an open heaven and you have even the planetary system that's surrounding around you, that you be very specific. Stop joking around with what it is you want in this life. My friends, if we're here to manifest the life that we really want, then we need to be mindful, to be detailed about what it is we want. What is it that you want for your life? What is it that you want to produce in your life? Get detailed about it. Decide that you're going to make that decision during this season as you watch this solar plexus bring into, or this solar eclipse bring in, and solar plexus too, bring into our existence something powerful. The theme, I believe, over the next several days, I'm asking you to consider this, is autonomy, identity, and freedom. Autonomy, identity, and freedom. Who is it that you decide to be? How is it that you're deciding to show up? And what is the life that you're wanting to build over this next several days? I'm asking you to become reconciled, renewed, and restored in your soul. Reconcile. To reconcile is to be siled again, is to be back in relationship with, is to be back in a space of true peace. Thich Nhat Hanh said, the practice of peace and reconciliation is one of the most vital and artistic human actions. Reconciliation requires respect, relevance, reciprocity, responsibility, and relationship. Get in close and get in relationship with what it is you want. Reconcile with your own self. Many of us are estranged from our true self because we don't even realize who our true self is. Be reconciled within your own self. Even St. Paul said we've been given the ministry of reconciliation. Number 2, renewal. I love this right here because as I started to write the word renewal this morning, this flowed out. A part of renewal is brokenness. Let me say this again. A part of renewal is brokenness. If you curse the brokenness, you won't even be able to see the vision for how to renew. If it wasn't broken, you wouldn't need renewal anyway. So a part of renewal is brokenness, and it adds its beauty as well. The breakdown leads to a breakthrough every time. It takes broken soil to produce a crop. It takes broken clouds to give you rain. It takes broken grain to give you bread, and it takes broken bread to be eaten for your strength. So it's all a part of the process of renewal. Renewal is to make new again. David wrote the song like this in the Hebrew Bible: God, your mercies are new and renewed every morning. Somebody say, every day is a new day. Come on, every day is a new day. It takes light and dark to make a new dawn possible. If you didn't experience the darkness, the light wouldn't even be appreciated. Come on, somebody. If you didn't appreciate the hard times, you wouldn't appreciate the soft times. If you didn't appreciate, if you don't have the bitterness at times, you can't even understand the contrast of sweetness. It's renewal, and we're in the process of that. The true and the constant cycle of death, burial, and resurrection is a part of our human experience and our human expression. And then there's restoration, and I love this right here. Restoration is the act of returning something to its original condition. When I read the definition of restoration, turning back to its original condition, I was reminded that we all came from eternity into this humanity. And to be returned to your original condition is to have the scales fall from your eyes so that you can truly see the godness and the goodness that you are before you had the conditions put on you by the people around you. It takes a lot of energy to be a person, don't it? And it takes no energy to be yourself. It takes a lot of energy to be Dr. So-and-so, to be Secretary so-and-so, to be car salesman so-and-so, to be insurance sales, to be construction person, to be fitness person, to be husband, to be wife, to be children, to be all of the titles. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be these persons that everybody expects us to show up as, but it takes no energy to be you, to be your true self. Being the original self is easy. Stopping myself from being what I'm not is the challenge. Being your true self is easy. I want to say this in closing. Somebody say, thank you, Jesus. I don't have to be anything at all. I don't even have to try to be myself, because there is no such thing as not being myself. I am inescapably myself. So says Baba Muji. I don't have to be anything at all. I don't even have to try to be myself, because there is no such thing as not being myself. I am inescapably myself. So during this season, get specific about what it is you want, but be intentionally yourself, because what the world needs is the real you, not the facsimile of you or the counterfeit of you. Many of us don't know what it is to be an apostle of our life, which means to call forth the truth, because we've been an imposter of our own life for so long. I'm going to read this in closing. It's my second closing. I wasn't going to read this quote, but I'm going to read this quote. Your dignity can be mocked, abused, compromised, toyed with, lowered, and even bad-mouthed, but it can never be taken from you. You have the power today to reset your boundaries, restore your own self-image, start fresh with renewed values, and rebuild what has happened to you in your past. The true you can be mocked, abused, compromised, toyed with, and lowered, even bad-mouthed, but it can never be taken from you. The true you, the true heart, as Reverend Aileen talked about earlier, that anahata is impervious to the craziness of the world. It's immune to it. And immunity does not mean that it doesn't exist with it. It just means that it's not killed by it. See, to be immune from disease is not to necessarily be free from it in the sense of it's not present. It just means that it is present with you but cannot harm you. That's immunity. So we're present in a crazy world, but we're immune to it. Look at somebody and say, I'm immune to this craziness. Come on, say it out loud. I'm immune to this craziness. So I choose to live in that space of love, and I choose to live a life that's complete and healthy as I'm learning to be reconciled to myself, my true self, renewed within myself, and restored to my original self. That's what I got for you today. Namaste. Peace. Peace. Reverend Aileen.
Thank you, Reverend John, for reminding us. Didn't you love that story? And it's just everyday life, right? We take ourselves wherever we go. So thank you for that reminder. And how was the Guinness? I'll have to ask him then. You know, for me growing up in Ireland, that was actually, Guinness is considered medicinal in an appropriate doses. Yes, it is. They know that my family in Ireland, whenever we were sick or didn't feel well, that was what the doctors always prescribed in small doses. Yes. But remember, I grew up in the Stone Age, so, all right. So thank you all for being here, for your loving support, and we want to thank you for everything that you're doing to help us move forward, particularly with our $100 that we've been asking for towards our new building, our new fund. You'll notice that Kerry created a beautiful visual outside. You'll see, I believe we have raised up to 8,000 already for our new building and our new location. And today we're just asking you to text. You can text to give at 833-691-6105. Just text your give amount. Second way to give is download our First Unity app. That's a great one for all of you at home online. Third way is to set up your auto giving program. And fourth way, mailing in. And finally, the QR code. So you can take out your phone, snap a picture, and that will take you directly to our donation page. And once again, we thank all of you for your love, your support always. And so now I'm going to invite all of us here in the sanctuary. Those of you at home, you're welcome to do that too if you'd like to stand or if you're able to do so. And we will say our prayer of abundance. And maybe at this time, I invite you maybe to bring your hand over your heart, maybe expressing or feeling the gratitude that we have for everything that is given to us. The abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance. As God as my source, all things are possible, and so it is.
right, stand to your feet. By this we shall know what true love is. Showing the world our unity, that's what true love is.
quick reminder, come back in 5 minutes, okay?
Now let's say our mantra. Love is who I am.
Gratitude is my attitude. Abundance is my nature. Well-being is my birthright.
And have the best day ever because
You can.
Yeah. Well, come on back in the room, everybody. Come on back in the room. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Ain't y'all beautiful? I'll tell you something. One of the things, because as we've been going through this transition, many of you know that I have several minister friends. Most of them are pretty inclusive, and some are still kind of fundamentalists, and they keep me around as a friend. They're not going to ask me to come preach at their church, but but I confide in them and relationship and many years of wisdom between all of them. And so they've been checking on me and making sure that I'm okay through this process. And, you know, this whole process of transition can at times be stressful to the mind and to the body. But my spirit is soaring. And but I will tell you, physically, mentally, in some ways, I'm tired right now. I'm a little tired. So if that comes across, I apologize for that. But I'm working with that as well. And it's wonderful fitness for me. One of the things I've learned with working out in the gym, if you're not a little bit sore the next day, you probably need to go back and do the same muscle group because you didn't do anything. Some people think they walk into a gym and get fit. No, because so they can say I went to the gym. So this has been an interesting season. I know that everyone has been concerned, or all that are here been concerned about where we're going to be. And I had a friend last week, and I think I mentioned this last week, that called out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him in ages, and said, I just feel like I need to tell you, for some reason, that you're about to get an answer. You're about to see a breakthrough on something, but it's going to happen in the 11th hour. And I was like, well, it's the 11th hour, so if we could break it through, that would be wonderful. And sure enough, this last week, we experienced a breakthrough. So here's what we have. We are going to be having services in here until the Sunday the 21st. Sunday the 21st of this month, okay? So I need everybody to be aware of that, so you can hang tight. We're going to be fine. We will be back on the same channel at the same time next week. But we are going to be switching cable networks, switching stations after that. And here's the three options that we have. One, we have a rental agreement for a shared space that's going to come across our desk this week for us to take a look at. The leadership's going to take a look at that, see all of the ins and outs. We have already projected some things that we would like to see, some things that are necessary for our community. They seem to be very amenable to that and are willing to come back to us with an offer for a shared space at a very good rate, might I add. I don't know if you've noticed, but St. Pete is proud of their real estate. So we laugh to keep from crying sometimes, but they've come back with that they're going to come back with that this week, a rental agreement. Also, what came across our view was the opportunity to possibly purchase a different location, but both in St. Pete. Somebody say, both in St. Pete. I thought that might make somebody happy. As long as we're not going North Tampa, but both of these locations are in St. Pete. And then we have an alternative if we needed to have one, to hold a service or hold a special event at the Hickman Theater. Now, that is Gulfport, but if we needed to hold a special event, we could do that at the Hickman Theater, okay? But this opportunity that's set before us now, it seats almost 500 people. It has about 53,000 square feet of building. It has fellowship hall, has plenty of bathrooms. It has some office space for us to utilize for pastoral care and pastoral counseling kinds of things. And it gives us access to the building every Sunday, gives us access to the building every Thursday. We would be working on moving our meditation to Thursday, so that's one of the moves. But that's what happens when you start to use shared space. We would need to move to a Thursday. We would have our meditation directly followed by our music team having rehearsal following that meditation. And then first and third Friday is available for our Sacred City folks who do the kirtan, so that they could still hold kirtan with us, okay? So that is coming across our desk this week, and we'll take a look at it, bring that back to you to update you. The other purchase possibility, our team is looking into all of the parameters around that. Investigating the property, the building, inspections, all of those kinds of things, looking at price points, looking at partnerships, looking at what it would take to make that happen from a financial standpoint. There's a lot that goes on with that because the price tag seems to be about right, but it is, and it seats 500 people as well. It's on about 2.5 acres of land. It's in St. Pete, and so it's really a beautiful piece of property, but it is considered historic because it's over 50 years old, and so there's some things that may need to be some sprucing up. But how many know there's some things that need to be sprucing up around here too? And we've been sprucing since I've been here. There's been some sprucing. I don't know if you can call it sprucing. That's kind of a stretch. There's been a lot of sprucing, and so but what we want to check on before making any moves like that is we want to check on structure, we want to check on electrical, on plumbing, on making sure that what we're dealing with is solid, okay? So those are the two major things. All of that to say, we're just fine. We're going to be just fine. One of the locations, both are South St. Pete, and one is, I want to look at that address again. I want to say 2nd. Is that 2nd Street or 2nd Avenue? 2nd Street? Let me see. 2nd Avenue South. 2nd Avenue South. And the other one is 56th Street North. And that's St. Pete. And we get to stay in St. Pete. So that's beautiful. We will bring, as soon as we're able to take a look at this rental agreement, we will make sure that you are aware of where that is. We will possibly have yet another meeting following service next week, okay? I don't want to keep holding you, but I think we also want to make sure you stay updated. But those are the three things. We have 2 shared space possibilities. One of them is a possibility to purchase, and the other is a shared space for at least the interim so that we can find our spot. But I want to remind us of something real quick. In our 3-year vision, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the service, in our 3-year vision, we are visioned to have 5 locations serving Tampa Bay and St. Pete. 5 locations in this Tampa Bay, St. Pete area, and 2 locations international. We got a lot of work to do. So whatever our transition is next, I want you to see it as that. We're planting seed into the ground. It's going to grow. It's going to be perfect. And it's going to give way for us to do this in a wonderful, repeated fashion. Everything that we're doing right now to shape ourselves up, including our business model and how we work with money and allowing money to flow to us, through us, for us, and as us, everything that we're doing right now, this is a perfect time. Coming out of that 100 years, this is a perfect time for us to examine everything and make sure everything is ready to fly high, because I believe we're getting ready to do that. And so we're checking all of the wings, we're checking the landing gear, all of that. If you have any questions about it, please, and I know this sounds general, I'm only keeping the names of the places a little more quiet because we haven't struck a deal yet, and I think it's important for us to keep that in a little bit of confidence because we're working with them, and I wouldn't want to say it out loud and then it get around the neighborhood that we're taking over or something. We're not doing that, but that's the reason we're staying a little general with it. Okay, but next week will be another update because, again, that rental agreement will come across our desk this week, okay? I love you all so much. Any questions you have, for my question at firstunity.org, my question at firstunity.org. Now let's go get some food. I love you all. Peace.